Once upon a time, there was a man named Sir Walter Raleigh. He was a lead soldier, a famous writer, but most of all, he was an explorer. He and his sailors were the founders of Roanoke, a small island just off the coast of North Carolina. He made a new settlement that people kept on coming into because it had fish, animals, fruits, and vegetables. Most of all, people who came into Roanoke hoped to find gold and become wealthy. Roanoke was successful for a while.
I want to start something big. I shall send a group of strong, witty men to the New World for me, Sir Walter Raleigh, to claim some land for England. I want to have more power, and how I will make England have more power is by claiming land for England to build off its land so far and give it a bigger, more powerful area. The captain of this expedition is the strongest and wittiest of men, a man named John White.
That's me!
1 year later. Dun dun dun!
I'm John White. This place is great and powerful, but one thing I'm worried about is if we don't survive through winter. It's too late and cold to plant crops, and winter is coming up, so all we can rely on is me going back to England to get food and supplies, but that can be risky. The waters may be rough, and who knows the beasts lurk in the shadowy deep.
I'm Robert Woodworth. I was one of the carpenters sent on the expedition. I convinced Sir Walter Raleigh to let me bring my family with me. My family and I are very worried that we won't survive the journey. My wife Roberta, my son Robert II, my daughter Roberta Jr., and our cat, Boyto. I hope we can rely on John to help us.
Robert, are you alright? Well, I know. You're worried about us surviving. Me too. We will try our best, and tomorrow I will travel back to England and get lots of food and supplies. Then everything will be alright once I come back to Roanoke, and we won't be starved. Goodbye, everyone! I'm leaving for England, and I will be back as soon as possible to feed our colony!
That day, John White sailed to England through storms, bad weather, depression, and more. But he kept going because he was determined to keep his promise with Roanoke and help them. When he got to England, he found out that there was a huge war happening in England. It was a naval battle between England and Spain. The Royal Navy would not let John go back to Roanoke. They needed every ship they could get their greedy hands on if they were going to have a chance against Spain's a massive aqua armado. A long while passed by, and John still wasn't back in Roanoke due to the war. Roanoke was suffering massive tragedies. Back in Roanoke.
Where's John? He needs to bring us our food. My family is worried and sick. People are dying by the day, and my wife and children are almost starved. He made us a promise. People here are starving. Some even betrayed our colony by leaving us and moving to Croton and becoming a Crotoni. That is a sign that things are getting bad here. Wait until Sir Walter Raleigh hears about this. He won't be very happy. He will give John one of the old English torture methods, like a hot poker your bum treatment.
From what I've heard, John hasn't returned. This is chaos. I started something, and John White can't just go and ruin it all and kill all these innocent people and families. This isn't his fault. It's the wars. But I can't just blame the war. On one side, there needs to be a who in charge for this, and I can't blame everything on John and be so harsh on him for something he didn't even mean for. And I'm sure he's worried too and wants to help us. On another side, John was the first person who we trusted and was in charge of our food. This is putting 118 people on the line. That's a big job, and we relied on John to take that responsibility. I don't know what to do. How will my colony survive this fall and winter if we have no supplies and food? I hate to say it, but our colony could just die.
1 year after that, 3 years from when Roanoke was found, created, and turned into an expedition/colony. The war had finished, and John White was very pleased to find out that he may return back to Roanoke. He hoped he would still be welcomed there, but most of all, he hoped everyone was still safe and alive. He sailed day and night, determined to get back to Roanoke. When he had finally returned to Roanoke, he was shocked.
Everyone, what's happening? Hello? Anyone here? I can't believe it. They've starved to death. Everybody. Robert Woodworth, Roberta, Robert II, Roberta Jr., Roberto, anybody? Without food, they couldn't survive. It's all because of me. I hadn't was honored with such an important responsibility. I was relied on and cared for, but nothing went right.
Our theory is that Roanoke starved and people died. We think some people betrayed Roanoke and left for Croatoan. That is why Croatoan was written on the post. On the way to Croatoan, the boat sank. Everyone who lived in Roanoke either drowned or starved. Put your hands together for John Wayne.
Thank you.
Now everybody put your hands together for Sir Walter Raleigh. Woo! Woo-hoo! Finally, everyone put your hands together for Robert Woodworth the Carpenter. Woo! Thank you. Finally, put your hands together for me, the narrator.